or you just put the Emla cream on there. My preferred choice is actually a new topical anaesthetic, but am I allowed to mention what I use? Yes, it's Pliagulis. It's very good because you can put it on, it dries and peels off. Put an entry point here. That will allow us to get to the nasolabial and down to the marionette. The cannula's got a couple of advantages. It's got a marking on it that shows you where the actual opening is. So you can actually point your cannula tip up or down. And I don't know if Doris explained to you that it has got what's called, it's almost like a hybrid needle, a hybrid cannula, in that it's fairly, it's not as blunt as you think. It's got a bit more of a point to it. So you can actually get it in through the dermis. Now once you're in, you can literally slide it along whichever plane you want. Are you all right there? And you can see it's fairly slight. If I just push against the tissue, you'll see it bending upwards, and the tip is just here.
You're in the subcute?
I'm in the subcutaneous tissue here. Okay, and you can see it's just, you can see a little movement just by the alar base, which is as far as I want to be. Okay? The nice thing is it glides in straight away. You didn't have to have too much pressure or pushing. Okay? And we're just filling that corner, which is the deepest part.
So the gliding is important when you introduce the cannula, but it's actually also important when you retract it. Because when you retract it, you don't want any other tissue to be damaged. So.
Now you can use the same entry point to actually then angle down to the marionette lines as well, and you can fan down through there. You can do your bolus point, or you can put a little duck step, or whatever you prefer. You do not have to change your techniques. A good correction, but I haven't taken that completely away because, again, we don't want to cause her to look different. And then we're going to put a little bit of filler here, just to give a little lift there, just to make it look less. The other thing is, if you look very carefully at the tip of the needle, I don't know if you can get a close-up of it. Can you get a close-up of that? Yeah. This is going to be really good because I'm having difficulty seeing the tip of the needle. It's not as blunt as you think it is. Some cannulas, the tip is really blunt. It's actually more, was it mosque-shaped? Yeah, if you imagine the top of a mosque or a dome, it's got a little point, slightly pointed tip. With that point, it means that you can actually get, if you're beginning to become a little bit, this might just sting a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm. What size cannula?
This is a 27 again, okay? Just
27 and 38 millimeters.
I don't want to take it right out to the maxilla. She's got a lovely cheekbone here. I just want to put a bolus here to just cause a little bit of lift on here, to give a little bit of lift there. And I'm going to put a couple of threads along here just to pull back on. I've now come back from the periosteum, and I'm now just under the dermis. Okay? Just pulled it back, and I'm under the dermis. And you can actually see, if I just push against here, you can see that it almost flexes up. Yes, I can actually feel myself bouncing along under the dermis. Are you all right there?
Yes.
So far I've used 0.1 mils. I'm just going to put very small threads, less than 0.1 mil, all along, just to cause a little bit of lift. Again, I'm not looking for volume. I want to sort of stimulate that underlying collagen to try and see if it will cause a little bit of pulling up. This is not going to give you an immediate effect. This is going to start the stimulatory effect, just to give her a little pull. I can actually feel myself bouncing along under the dermis. You all right there?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little thread. It's a fan-shaped thread there. We've just put a tiny amount in there, and we just put some threads in there. I just want that to cause a little bit of lift on there, and that is all we need. But a lot of people just put the insertion point of the needle in straight in, which is fine. But then as you withdraw, just as you come up to the dermis, use the tip of the needle just to scratch the dermis out. That will just make your hole a tiny bit bigger, cause a little bit more bleeding sometimes, but it means you can see where the point you need to put your cannula in, particularly if you're using one of those 30 gauge, or even the 27 gives you a bit of that problem. And again, because we've planned where we want the length of our cannula, you can see that's where I want to get my bolus in, so you can put the bolus in and run along there from the side. Just turn it over to the left. So we can get the whole cannula in to where I want it to go. Okay? Obviously, if you had a long one, you could go do the whole length of your mandible. If, when you're using it, you come against some resistance, you just control it like a pen, and just a little screwing motion, and it will just go in, and that takes you to where you want it to go. Okay, are you all right there?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just pushing. I'm coming
I'm
out.
always scared.
So we've just laid a small volume along here, just to try and efface that pre-gel sulcus. Since I'm here, okay. So we've just put a small volume just in here to
Makes
try and
such a
avoid
difference
that
to the
again,
other side,
just to give her. Yeah, I can't see the other side. But
I
you can.
can
You can. You can see if you look carefully. You can see here you've got a straighter line now.
Definition.
There, and that's when I finish this off. I'm going to put some length there, and I'll just put a tiny drop there, just to give a little bit of support on the chin. So those are the three ways of elongating the chin. Right, let's just finish off this jaw here. Go through here again. This is the most traumatic part because I'm bouncing off right on periosteum. You can see it's literally slid. That tissue is fairly difficult to get through, but it's just slides straight through, and I'm sitting just where I want it to be, just to give a little bit of bolus on that pre-gel sulcus area. We're literally only putting about 0.1, 0.2 mils in total. Not a lot, but just to take away and give a little bit of definition. And then to finish it all off, I'm going to come down just on the tip of the jaw here, just to give it a little bit of support and increase that, what we call that, that jaw lengthening. Again, 0.1 mils is more than enough to give that definition on the tip of the jaw. And it holds the jaw, the chin mental area out. See, it supports, the whole area here is now supported. She's got a nice definition along here. And there's a bit of volume here, right at the tip, that's going to hold that down. Okay, just bring the chin down. See, there's a little bit more, much more definition here.